A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and here we are again with some more Survival of No Limits content, and more importantly, some more subjects for all of y'all to see right here. So, y'all better get ready here. Today's topic is yet another terrifying example of what could happen in case you forget to do one basic necessity that all humans are going to require, known as rest. Because today, let's talk a bit about the dangers of prolonged insomnia. As you know, or in case you probably don't already know, so in this case I might as well take a little bit of time to explain this. Insomnia is in fact a condition where a person may not be able to sleep correctly, whether it be by any sorts of means. And there are a lot of ways that people might not be able to sleep at all throughout the night. Whether it be from them getting too high on caffeine or other sorts of stimulants that happen inside the body, or it would be from a certain nightmare. A lot of times people would have so much trouble getting back to sleep by themselves that sometimes they require the comfort and safety of their own friends and family members to basically help them get back to have some shut-eye. And there are a lot of other unique examples that have in fact been recorded throughout various cases of people being awakened for any sort of reason, or being unable to sleep entirely. But right now, insomnia, of course, has in fact had a lot of impact throughout our own society. And there are tons of reasons that insomnia could take place. But let's go ahead and talk about what happens if insomnia progresses for way too long than it should normally do. There are a lot of cases that have developed where some people are not at all able to sleep no matter how bad they feel. But believe it or not, let's just say that if insomnia were to progress far enough, if you were able to sleep for a certain period of time, then naturally your body's going to feel a lot better, both mentally and physically. But what happens when you don't have any sleep at all would necessarily be the complete opposite. Your body is going to want to shut itself down. It's going to want to turn itself off for a certain unprecedented amount of time. But in the cases of prolonged insomnia, it will in fact do everything it possibly can. And no matter how much stimulants you might put into your system, be it stimulation to the eyes from an electronic device, such as a cell phone or tablet or a laptop, to extreme amounts of caffeine. And there are in fact a lot of products out there that had this particular drug put into it, including coffee, cola, energy drinks, and even certain medicines that are typically used to relieve certain pain. And the thing is that there has in fact been a lot of studies regarding long periods of insomnia actually becoming deadly. Yeah, not kidding around here. There once was a 2010 study which found that physical deterioration and a lot of other effects, especially at a mental level, would begin to appear after 36 hours or more would take place without any sleep whatsoever. 0 hours for a long period of time has actually shown to be rather destructive to the human body, especially to the mind, where it does in fact store as much of the adrenaline and hormones as you could possibly find throughout the human body. And the truth is that it can only continue to get worse from there, because a lot of times some people actually have had the decency and the urge to go without sleep for long periods of time. And if you think that that's crazy, then well, you might as well just wait. A lot of times it's fiction, like in the case of Frank West from Dead Rising, the video game series made by the same creative team and by the same company as Resident Evil, Capcom USA. And this company, of course, has had a multitude of great games out there and great franchises of all sorts. Not just with Dead Rising and Resident Evil, but also with other franchises like Street Fighter and Final Fight. And some of which are not really continuing to this very day, but it's a it's probably for good reasons. But going back to insomnia, once again, it is absolutely imperative that you do go for a certain period of time. Depending on your age level, a lot of people can have different sleep patterns, and a lot of people can have different durations of sleep, which are necessarily deemed acceptable by the body and by the mind. In terms of my age group, being 22 years old currently, I myself find it easy to usually get rest between 6 to 9 hours each night, and I typically have little to no problems there. Of course, it's also imperative that you don't go too long without sleeping. And I'll probably talk a little bit more about that in greater detail with a process known as lethargy. But insomnia, of course, has a polar opposite in comparison to lethargy. It is in fact something that will indeed kill you. If you go too long without sleeping, then you might as well be lying down on a deathbed, closing your eyes forever. If you have yourself lethargy, then you might as well be doing the same exact thing. Like I said though, I will talk a little bit more about lethargy in greater detail, but until that happens, let's just say that the next 4 times that I'm going to be sitting right here underneath this little canopy in front of a fireplace that could be going off on me, but it's very ashy and very black from all the char that has developed on it so far. But if you want to see more go down on my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.